Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk to you about how a faithful person shall abound with blessings. Proverbs 28:20 says this, "A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent." Now sometimes people don't understand, well, is it a bad thing to want to be rich quickly? Well, the problem is this making haste to be rich. This isn't just doing your all and working with all your effort and being the best you could possibly be. That's not what it's talking about. This is about people who are cutting corners. I'll give you an example in this in real life that almost everyone has experienced is network marketing or MLM or whatever you want to call it. How many times have you experienced a supposed friend or family member or just some stranger trying to sell you some network marketing product that is inferior, or maybe it's all right, maybe the product is actually good, but it's way overpriced because it has to be overpriced to pay for all the downline that is going to get paid from that sale. That's one of those things that's a haste to get rich, where you're willing to compromise your values. You're willing to sell somebody an inferior product or sell someone a product that's way overpriced. I'm not talking about a luxury product, because there's products that are worth a lot of money, but they generally have the value that goes along with it. But when you have a product that has a really real world value of about $20 and you're selling it for $50 through a network marketing company, and you're trying to get your friends and family to sell it too, that's kind of the idea here. This making haste to be rich. And here's the thing, you won't be rich. You read further down in this chapter, it comes to poverty. This kind of mentality. And if you talk to actual rich people, what you find is that it takes us years and years and years to get to the point of wealth and success. Bill Gates didn't become one of the world's richest men overnight. And you know what he didn't do? He didn't sit around praying and hoping that God would pour money down from heaven upon him. No, he worked hard. He worked ridiculous hours. Read about how his work ethic was. And see, the problem is many people are looking at these millionaires and billionaires when they're in their 60s and 70s and they're basically not doing really much work at all anymore. They're essentially living the retired life. Well, you can't get to that point that they're at without having all the decades of tremendously hard work that got them to where they are. And in some cases, they're still working hard. Now, they may dress it up and say, well, I love my work. I love what I'm doing. It's not really work. But they still put in sometimes 10, 12, 14, 16-hour days because they're dedicated. They're diligent people who don't waste their time, who use their time for valuable endeavors. That's not hasting to get rich. Listen, you can become rich, and maybe it will come fast. That's great if it does. But the desire for that cheap, quick win. I'll give you an example of this. The lotto mentality. The lottery. Oh, I'm going to win the lottery. That is that get rich quick mentality. That is that making haste to be rich. Because you don't want to put in the effort. You don't want to do it the right way. You don't want to do it the way that God set up his entire universe. Seed time and harvest exist. There are seasons. You're going to have to go through some time to get to the point to where you want to be. It doesn't happen overnight. And if you ever played a video game, I remember playing video games when I was a kid, and sometimes you get cheat codes, and they would give you either unlimited lives or power or whatever. But you know what happened? A game that once was a challenge and fun for you now became repetitive and boring because the challenge was gone. That's not the way life is, though. You can hope and dream and pray all you want that you're never going to have to go through any kind of time period before you get to your end result, and it's not going to happen for you. Many people are hasting to get rich because really it's based in fear, it's based in unbelief, it's based in doubt. Because they're so fearful, if they don't get it now, they're never going to get it. And so they're hoping they can find some secret potion, some secret method, some secret affirmation, or whatever it may be that's going to make them rich, make them successful, make them whatever it is they're trying to find. But here's what happens. it leads to misery and failure. I'm not telling you you shouldn't get rich quickly. If it happens, great. But what you should be focused on is not getting rich quickly. It is your constant daily improvement and the fact that you're using your time valuably each and every day. You're not wasting your time on entertainment and frivolity and all this time-wasting activity that so many people dedicate their lives to. I understand the need for some relaxation. That's perfectly fine. But there are people whose entire lives revolve around relaxation. They revolve around video games, they revolve around movies, they revolve around internet, and just random entertainment in general. And they've completely lost the meaning of life. The meaning of life isn't to be entertained and to sit around and be a zombie. You are to be productive. You are to be like God. You are to be an imitator of Him. And as a child of God, you are to be like Him and daily seeking to be more and more like Him, conform to His image. And even as Jesus said, be ye therefore perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. That Creator, your Father in heaven, be like Him, create, enact things, take action, have activities going on that are valuable and productive and benefit the world. Now, whatever that may be for you, it doesn't matter. It's going to be different for each individual. Don't compare yourself because somebody else is digging 1,000 wells when maybe all you can do is help your neighbor rake the leaves in their yard. This is not a competition. This is about you being the best you can possibly be. And for many people, it's just going to take some effort because, like exercise, if you haven't exercised in a long time or maybe ever, you're going to be really weak and you're not going to be able to perform very well. But as time goes on and you continually work at it, you get better and better. And in a year's time, 2 years' time, you may be completely unrecognizable and your strength and ability will be through the roof. And as Zechariah 4:10 says, for who hath despised the day of small things? You see, my friend, you may have small things going on right now, but be the faithful man, be the faithful woman, be faithful in your endeavors, day in and day out. Be that diligent person, because you'll be the one that will be rewarded with great wealth. You'll be the one that will be blessed, and the blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, Proverbs 10:22. Don't despise small beginnings, small things. Push forward. Because what you see happen so often is, after a period of time, and it could be a day, it could be 2 days, it could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years, whatever it may be, these small little things add up to a lot. And then, what seemingly out of nowhere, seemingly overnight, you become a great success. You have great wealth. You've achieved great things, and you're continuing to achieve great things. But that won't happen if you give up now. And that won't happen now if you try to take shortcuts and try to haste to get rich. Well, if I do this thing, because you see these people doing this all the time. They're running back and forth from one network marketing company to another, from one business opportunity to another. Well, this idea is going to work. Well, that idea might do it. And they never have any focus on anything for a long enough period of time for that seed to be sown and for a harvest to be reaped. Instead, they're constantly sowing a little seed here, forgetting it, moving on to another seed, forgetting that, moving on to another seed. Even if they get any kind of traction, they eventually give up and go on, move on to something else. And you'll never get rich when you're hasting to get rich. And if you somehow miraculously do, it will just wind up falling away from you and you'll lose it all. As Proverbs 28:22 says, he that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall come upon him. That's strong words. And not against riches, not against being rich, but hasting to be rich. Don't make those shortcuts. Don't get that evil eye and take a path that's maybe not ethical. Take a path that's hurting your customers or hurting your clients. Or like I mentioned about the network marketing people who are selling products they know are inferior, or selling products they know are way overpriced. That's not the way you want to go through life. That's not the way you want to be in order to become the person of great wealth and success that you are to be. If you choose to do the right things. Now, for many of you may think, well, I can't do that. And this is going to be a matter of reprogramming your subconscious mind, renewing your mind to the mind of Christ. I have a book called 600 Wealth, Prosperity, and Abundance Affirmations. I encourage you to get that, because that book I poured my heart into to give you the best affirmations that will bring about that spirit of opulence and wealth and abundance and success and the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich. My friend, I pray this was a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.